Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have a full review of the Galaxy Buds3 FE and the Galaxy Buds Core. Let's get started. Both headphones offer a more budget-friendly option from Samsung. However, I believe there remains a significant price difference. The Galaxy Buds3 FE are launched in Mexico at a price of 2,199 pesos, which is notably lower than the Galaxy Buds 3. It still isn't as low as the Galaxy Buds, which are priced at 849 pesos in Mexico. I think the price gap is still quite significant, although we will gradually explore several differences between these models. This won't be a direct comparison, but rather a two-in-one review of Samsung's budget-friendly headphones. If you're considering purchasing either of these options, we're here to help you decide. So let's go through it step by step, point by point. Let's begin with the design, where the differences are quite evident. The Galaxy Buds 3 FE are focusing more on aligning with the Buds 3 family, which means they embrace a totally distinct philosophy. Unlike the Galaxy Buds Core, which retains Samsung's essence for many generations. Then, when it comes to the Buds FE, we will notice an area that has a bit of transparency. These are headphones that feature a finish which isn't very shiny, and what we will encounter is USB-C port located on the bottom and a button for pairing. These headphones do not feature wireless charging capabilities. Upon opening them, you'll notice a unique triangular tube design, which Samsung refers to as the blade design. However, unlike the Pro model, these lack any lighting features that lend a futuristic touch, indicating some cost-cutting in this area. The headphones themselves have a closed design, meaning they include silicone pads aimed at isolating you from external noise. Additionally, through your cell phone, you have the option to initiate a fit test to ensure the size is correct. The earbuds weigh 5 grams, and interestingly, they are comfortable to wear. I say interestingly because if you've seen my content on the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, you know they are earbuds I don't use since they keep falling out. Interestingly, these are the FE edition. They do have a design change that, at least to me, they don't fall off easily, which I find quite strange. I thought it was going to be exactly the same design as the 3 Pro Buds and that they were going to be very uncomfortable for me, but it wasn't. In this situation, I have experienced them with a good level of comfort. Now, when it comes to the Galaxy Buds Core, as I mentioned, the design will be quite different. Samsung is opting for what they have been using for several previous generations, which is the reflective case that is exactly the same size as many other headphones out there. Therefore, if you already own a previous generation and have cases or something similar, you can certainly make use of them. The pairing button is absent on the Galaxy Buds Core, which will be an important issue to consider. We will discover a design featuring an external LED, similar to the Buds 3 FE, however. In this instance, the earbuds are more compact, lacking any sort of tube. They incorporate silicone fins, which are interchangeable, allowing users to select the appropriate size. These fins help ensure that the earphones do not fall out easily. When you put them in, you need to do a slight twist to ensure they're secure firmly. Surprisingly, they fit well. They're not constantly falling out, at least for me, although it can vary with each ear. I felt they grip well in both cases. So, when it comes to design, I think it will largely depend on your personal preference. If you still prefer headphones of this style, which are much more compact, you will find a good option here. In both scenarios, we will encounter IP54 as the standard for water and dust resistance with nothing additional. A minor detail I wanted to highlight is that storing the FE buds in their case is a bit more complicated. In fact, it's significantly more complex due to the triangular tube design. You must precisely insert earphone because once you begin to store it incorrectly, you can't simply turn it. This can make the process somewhat tedious. It's certainly not a negative aspect, but there is a comfort advantage with the Galaxy Buds Core. You can put them away much more easily. In both instances, we observe excellent magnetic absorption, ensuring they don't fall out when stored in their case. So no problems there. However, it's important to note that neither of them comes with wireless charging capabilities. Now, let's discuss a bit more about the controls that we will have available in these headphones. Honestly, I expected there to be a more significant difference between them, but surprisingly, the experience is quite good with both. However, it is slightly better with the 3 FE Buds. This is because they have a tube that helps us control them by pinching. In contrast, the Galaxy Buds Core uses touch controls. Nevertheless, the two are still very similar in terms of user experience. For instance, When we use a pinch or a tap, depending on the specific earpiece in question, we have the ability to play or pause the content. If we apply 2 pinches or 2 taps, it allows us to skip to the next song. Furthermore, by using 3 pinches or 3 taps, we can return to the previous song. Additionally, if we perform this gesture for an extended duration on either headphone, there is an option to customize and alter their behavior. The default is noise control to toggle noise cancellation, disable it, or enable ambient mode based on your settings. However, you can configure this gesture for Gemini or Bixby, or switch to performer mode on a Galaxy. You can start Spotify or enable Samsung Health Mindfulness playback with relaxing sounds. There are several options, and all are on both earbuds. The 3 FE Buds add volume control by scrolling on the tube, though it's on the back. It's just something to note. Luckily, you have complete control over the Buds 3 FE and the Buds Core. Although the Buds Core seems to me to hold up quite well, there are many headsets that have more room to have more controls and are very limited. The Galaxy Buds Core, in my opinion, seem to deliver an excellent performance without any issues. Well, regarding everything related to controls, it's important to note that unlike the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, which, for example, had a similar design, here we do not have the experimental feature that allows you to control the volume by tapping on your ear, which is available there. However, one unique feature of the Galaxy Buds 3 FE is the voice activation capability. You can use the Hey Google command or the Bixby command based on your preferred assistant. This functionality will be a new addition to these headphones, offering a fresh experience. Let's discuss the sound now, as it's one of the most crucial features in a headset. In this scenario, there are noticeable differences. In the Galaxy Buds Core, there's a 6.5mm driver. Meanwhile, in the Galaxy Buds 3 FE, it increases to 11mm. This difference is particularly evident in the clarity of the audio. The Galaxy Buds 3 FE provides us with significantly higher quality audio. It also has improved bass presence with slightly better defined treble. The Galaxy Buds Core, when considering their sound quality relative to their price point, offer an experience that is not at all poor, far from it. However, you can definitely notice the price difference in the sound quality. If you're seeking a significantly more refined and well-defined audio experience, I would suggest opting for the Galaxy Buds 3 FE instead. Trust me, they don't sound bad, especially for the price. I think they provide decent sound. You might find other headphones with better sound at a similar price, but they don't offer the Samsung ecosystem these do. It's more for Galaxy users wanting a headset for their ecosystem without spending on Galaxy Buds 3. So I think they do give you good enough sound, and above all, they give you the full ecosystem experience. In terms of codecs, they are exactly the same. They support both Samsung's own SSC codec as well as AAC and SBC codecs, but you have to consider that Samsung's own codec. Let's say it is scalable, it is adapting. In the Galaxy Buds Core, we won't get very high resolution audio or anything like that. Actually, the Galaxy Buds 3 FE won't offer that either. However, due to the difference in the driver, the Galaxy Buds 3 FE does provide a clearer audio experience. Additionally, this model includes the spatial audio function, which is an extra feature compared to the Galaxy Buds Core. Although, to be honest, this function isn't used very often by most people. When it comes to noise cancellation, we are going to notice an improvement in quality with the Galaxy Buds 3 FE. The experience is truly impressive and you can enjoy it thoroughly. It effectively and significantly reduces all those frequencies that are in the environment. And thanks to the good design that it has, also the passive isolation is very good. In the case of the Galaxy Buds Core, it's a much more basic noise cancellation, especially in the low frequencies, but you can still get a little bit louder noise pickup than I would like. The price difference here is also clear. They cancel well for the price, but don't expect anything spectacular. Both have ambient mode to hear surroundings. Again, the Galaxy Buds 3 FE have better mic placement, offering improved quality in that area. Of course, you're going to find an equalizer available on both earbuds. It's a 9-band equalizer. Although interestingly, with the Galaxy Buds Core, you're only going to have access to the presets. You can't move band by band, so that's a difference as well. For those who want a much more specific sound, the Galaxy Buds FE will have better capabilities, but it still stands out to me as it has since the Galaxy Buds Core. As Samsung added features usually in pricier models. Let's take a moment to discuss the microphones a bit more, because in this scenario, both models feature a setup that includes 3 microphones per earphone. This design choice ensures that we can expect a high level of quality in terms of audio capture. However, when we consider the placement of these microphones, I would argue that the Galaxy Buds 3 FE are likely to deliver superior sound quality. This is primarily due to the fact that their tube design allows the microphone to be positioned closer to the area where the voice is emitted. In contrast, the Galaxy Buds Core face more limitations in this regard, which could impact their performance. Let's hear a
En
test.
este momento estás escuchando el audio captado por los micrófonos de Galaxy Buds3 FE en un ambiente silencioso.
Now hear the ambient noise we have.
En este momento estás escuchando el audio en este mismo ambiente ruidoso, ahora captado por los micrófonos de estos Galaxy Buds3 FE. Ahora estás escuchando los micrófonos de los Galaxy Buds Core, todavía en un ambiente silencioso, y a continuación vamos a probar con ruido. Ahora estamos en este ambiente ruidoso y este sería el audio captado con los Galaxy Buds Core. Déjame saber tu opinión.
It seems that Samsung is aware when you are using headphones for recording audio, and thus it chooses not to apply noise cancellation. This allows the recording to capture sound as authentically as possible, just as you heard. Now, let's proceed to record a phone call so you can listen to how the headphones perform in a noisy setting during a call, not only when you're capturing audio content.
Bueno, estoy en una llamada en un entorno un poco ruidoso, aquí utilizando los Galaxy Buds Core para revisar si utiliza la cancelación de ruido o no. Y básicamente esto sería, porque estamos en un ambiente notablemente ruidoso. Ahora vamos a probar los otros audífonos. Ahora estoy probando estos audífonos, los Galaxy Buds3 FE, en este mismo ambiente. Así que yo creo que para llamadas van a estar mucho mejor por el tema de que el micrófono está más cerca de la fuente de voz. Estoy hablando al mismo volumen. Evidentemente, si hablo un poco más fuerte, seguramente mejore ligeramente la captación de mi voz. Y eso será todo.
When it comes to battery life, both are going to be relatively similar. The Galaxy Buds FE offers up to a total of 24 hours of playback with the case included, and up to 30 hours if you turn off the noise cancellation feature. Interestingly, the Galaxy Buds Core tends to discharge more quickly, with noise cancellation enabled, achieving up to 20 hours in total. However, if you turn off the noise cancellation, it will have an even greater battery life than the FE, reaching up to 35 hours. In both cases, I think they do what you would expect. It's not something spectacular or anything like that, but I at least have never complained too much about the battery life of the headphones. Just consider that in both cases, you will have to charge via USB-C cable, and also that in the case of the Galaxy Buds Core, in some countries comes without USB-C cable included, curiously. Now, let's delve into the topic of connectivity and other additional functions. In both instances, we find Bluetooth 5.4, which is quite remarkable because they offer excellent connectivity for enhanced range. Additionally, in both, we will also encounter the auto switch function between Galaxy devices. This means if you own a tablet along with a Samsung smartphone and you are, for instance, enjoying music while working on your tablet, but then a call comes through to your smartphone, you have no need to manually unpair and connect. It's seamless. So that's one area where the Samsung ecosystem exists. We will find instant pairing with Galaxy devices, so when you open the case, they're detected on phones, bringing up the pop-up for easy pairing. Microsoft Swift Pair is also available for Windows laptops, allowing easy linking. Easy. In addition, as I had already anticipated, both support the Galaxy Interpreter mode to be able to translate in real time, although here we must make an important note. If your Galaxy phone does not have this interpreter function, you will not be able to use these headphones. For that, then that will be an important issue. One more feature that you can access even if your Galaxy phone doesn't have Galaxy is the capability to read notifications. If you have headphones on and get a message, you can have it read directly to you and turn it on or off as you like. Game mode is available in settings, which may reduce latency, though it will still be noticeable. Let's test these headphones with game mode on to check the latency. If you do not have a Galaxy phone, it is important to note that you will need to install the Galaxy Wearable application. If you have a recent Galaxy phone with One UI 8, you'll see headphone settings directly in the phone settings. No need for the Galaxy Wearable app. But if your Galaxy phone is older or you have another brand's Android phone, you'll need this app where you still have the same options I mentioned earlier. We have complete control over the equalizer. Additionally, the Galaxy will feature a volume normalization mode, which I have found extremely useful. When I'm listening to a podcast and the audio quality isn't consistent, with the volume suddenly dropping or increasing, this mode helps a lot. Furthermore, they can receive updates, so we can expect excellent quality in both headphones. In this context, please keep in mind that if you intend to use them with an iPhone, they can indeed be connected. However, you will miss out on many of the application's features because it is not available on that platform. In conclusion, the Galaxy Buds 3 FE resembles Samsung's current lineup more closely, while the Galaxy Buds Core evoked the past with differing philosophies. There are clear design differences, but in terms of controls, it's less apparent. Both support play and pause previous song and next song functions. The Galaxy Buds 3 FE indeed supports scrolling gestures, allowing you to not only change the noise control settings but also adjust the volume, all depending on how you configure them. That's quite effective for controlling volume. The sound quality is certainly much improved on the Galaxy Buds 3 FE. The Galaxy Buds Core are simpler with fewer EQ options. They lack wireless charging, which is expected at a lower price point. However, the Galaxy Buds 3 FE keeps the pairing button absent in the Galaxy Buds Core. Both offer a complete ecosystem experience, including voice assistant access and connection to multiple Samsung devices. Even without using the Galaxy Buds Core, you can still use the Galaxy AI interpreter for real-time translation. If your Galaxy phone supports it, you can access the Galaxy AI interpreter for real-time translation. I think the difference in price is justified. They are good quality headphones compared to their price, but especially with what has to do with the Samsung ecosystem. For now, this has been all for this video. If you liked it, you know you can indicate it, and we'll see you next time.